Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for being here for Intro to PowerPoint. I have placed the handout on the chat. And let me put it again so everybody can get it. You can use this handout right after the class. So it'll help you to have some reference after you finish the class. So this is the handout, and you just click the link on the chat and you will have this handout. First, if you have PowerPoint in your computer, you can go to the start box at the bottom of your computer. You can see on the screen where I am, and find PowerPoint just by typing PowerPoint, and it'll see the PowerPoint icon. This, for me, is 2016, but for you, it could be something different, which is fine. Or you can go here to the start and find your Microsoft PowerPoint by going on the icons. So it should go where it says Microsoft on the icons. Right here under P, you can click PowerPoint 2016 or whatever version you have available on your computer. Once you have the click on the PowerPoint, you're going to have this interface. On this interface, you're going to have on the left, there is the recent, if you have any recent files that you have worked on. If you have this empty, that's fine. If this first time you open the PowerPoint, you will have nothing here. But if you open a PowerPoint presentation recently, it will show up here. And then on the right, you will have options to either do a blank presentation or choose a template. And there are different templates that you can find here. For now, we're just gonna click on the blank presentation. And when you click on the blank presentation, this is the default. We can always change it later. On this will be the interface. So let me review the interface with you. So you learn where all the features are for PowerPoint. So this is a slide that is gonna be on your handout. So you can also use the handout for reference. Here on the home tab, right here you're gonna find all the ribbons that are available. So the first ribbon is home, and you're gonna find a series of icons that are gonna have different functions, and they're gonna do different things. For today's class, we're gonna remain on this home tab for the home ribbon. You can click different tabs and you're gonna have access to different ribbons. Today's class is only, most of it is right here on the home ribbon and on the insert ribbon. You maybe probably you will have a quick access to right here on the left corner, on left top corner. And these are gonna be actions that are common. For example, have save, and here presentation, but there'll be some other ones that you can add and customize by clicking the arrow, this upside down arrow. And then we have different commands, depends on the group. So we have the clipboard group, the slide group, the font groups, the paragraph group, drawing group, editing group, and this is just something that shows on my side, but it might not show up on your, which is Adobe Acrobat. This is just an add-on. Then we're gonna have on the slide panel. So here there'll be a snapshot of all the slides that you have on your presentation. And then we have the slide area. This is the main slide. This is what is going to show up as a presentation. On the bottom corner, bottom left corner, you're going to have the number of slides. So right now we're on a slide 1 of out of 1. If we have more, there'll be slide 1 of how many total slides you have. Then on the opposite corner, you're going to have a zoom. So you can zoom in by moving the slide or zoom out. And then on the task pane right here, there are other options that you're going to be using when you present. You can have notes. These notes are for you to read during the presentation. You can add comments. And these are different views if you want to see all your slides at once. This is a read mode, and this is the slideshow. So as PowerPoint have different ways to be used. The way it was designed was for presentation, where you will go in front of people and you will present in the slides in kind of like for a whole room to see. For example, right now I'm on my the default for the presentation. So the slide that is selected is what is going to show for everybody. So let me right now it's kind of, so this part won't show up on the screen where you present. This is just for you in case that you have 2 monitors like I have. So this is the way it's going to show up for everybody. You're going to have the slide magnified, or it will show up on a bigger screen. The other way that, so I'm going to go here to the normal view. The other way PowerPoint is used is to deliver information, kind of like a brochure, and not necessarily it's going to be presented in a room or presented in an auditorium, but you might have ideas that you want to put in some kind of graphic and some kind of better design than just pieces of paper. So maybe you have graph, you have pictures, and or you have short words that you want to, or make a pitch. So a lot of the PowerPoints are to create a pitch, an idea, to convey an idea in a graphical visual way. So that's another way to do PowerPoint. And you're not going to present it, you might just send the slides either by email, or you're going to put it on the internet somewhere. So people are not going to see your presentation, they're just going to see the slides. So you're going to tell them, I'm going to send you the slides, and they're going to read. And usually there is a story that you're going to present with the slides. So it's the whole idea of PowerPoint is to convey ideas in a visual way. So right now, I'm going to take these notes here out so they're not showing up. So this is the basic slide. And then if you want to save it, you can go here to File, on the tab File, and you're going to save it. And you choose the location where you're going to save it. And that's going to be saved as a PowerPoint presentation. And it's going to default as a presentation. And then PPTX is the extension. And then you're going to click Save. And that's going to be a file that you have created that can only be opened on PowerPoint. You can also print it And I'm going to show a better, when we have words here, I can show you a way to print it, but you can also print it on PDF or print it on paper. When you go to file, you also have the option either to create a new presentation and go back and create another presentation blank, started with a blank or started with a template. You can also open a presentation that is already saved, maybe was sent to you, was created previously, or you have created previously. So you can click here and it's gonna open. And you can also share it. You can email it to people or send it as a PDF, or and that's another option to share it. So are there any questions so far about the interface? So right now we're gonna create a PowerPoint slide, a simple PowerPoint. So I'm gonna go here to new, and I'm just going to start with a blank presentation. And when I have a blank presentation, and I'm just gonna close this one. When I have a blank presentation, I don't have any theme, I don't have any color, it's just a default. This is what is default, but I can customize it the way I want. So I can add another slide by going here on new slide. And when I click new slide, there's gonna be another slide showing on the left. So you can see I can click different slides. I can also choose the color. If you don't like the white color, I can go here to design and choose one of these themes. And the themes have different colors. So let's choose one of these. And they gonna come already color coordinated. So I'm gonna choose this one. You can choose something else. So that means every single slide is gonna have the same background and the same style of font, and they're gonna have already the theme for what is gonna be the main title, the secondary title, the text. So you don't have to worry about making sure everything has the same theme. So when you do a presentation, you wanna make sure all the slides have the same font for the first heading. So this is the heading, the main title. You wanna make sure everything is coherent. So you don't wanna have a different font on the first slide and another different font in the second slide, unless you want that to be. But if everything is all connected, having different color and different fonts in each slide, it creates, it's not coherent, and it might confuse your audience, unless that's what you want. Maybe you want every single slide to be different than the other, then you'll have a reason to do that. But most of the time you want a consistency and don't have to worry about inconsistency in your slides. So that's why I prefer to use themes. So I don't have to worry about what kind of font or what kind of style of font I use for each main title or my secondary main title. So I'm gonna go here to home, and I'm gonna click here. When you click on the box, you start typing. So this is my first slide. You can put any title you want, and this is a subtitle. And like I said, you can create your own slide. I just showing you how to put text. And then I'm going to show you a real presentation to see what I mean. Then you can go to the next slide, and the next slide has a box different than the first slide. So this one has the main slide, and then you can have text here. The third slide is the same in the fifth slide. You can change the layout. This is called layout. You can change the layout. To change the layout, you're gonna go here where it says home, slides, and then click layout. When you click layout, you're gonna have different options of the layout. So you can choose the layout that fits whatever you want, that fits your presentation, your message. So this is called the title slide because it has a main title and it has room for like a tagline or a subtitle. This is called title and content, where you can have a main title and then you can have different objects like graphs, pictures, and so on. You have here another one that is different than the first title because you can make, this box is bigger. Then you can have two contents, so you can have two ideas comparing each other. This is similar, it's a comparison where you can have a title here. Title only, so this is just if you want just a title. Blank if you don't want any boxes. You can have this layout also, which is like a column divided in two with a bigger box on the right. And this is to add a picture. So if you ever work in a magazine or everything, you have seen how they do magazines or newspapers, and they have a different layout for the text is gonna be. And you can always customize this and move the boxes the way you want it. But it's good to start with the default layout, and then you can customize each one because it goes much faster when you use the layout it was given to you. Anytime you do customization in PowerPoint, it's gonna take much longer. So I'm gonna choose this one because it's the more versatile. So I can put here, this is a second title. And then you can have a choice, either adding a text, and the text is gonna show up with a bullet point. So anytime you press enter, you're gonna have a bullet point showing up. You can also have the option, I am just doing undo here by clicking this arrow, so I can show you what it was before. These icons are suggesting what else you can add. You can add tables, charts, smart graphics, videos, online pictures, or pictures. So those are also, you can add a picture. We'll have a picture later. And this, by clicking on the left, the number slide, you're gonna go, you can also see the different slides. So this is the normal view. If you go at the bottom where it says slide sorter, you're gonna see all the slides at once. So this is the other view where you see all the slides at once. And if you click slideshow, this is the way it's gonna show up. So let me go back to see. So this is the first slide. So this is on the presentation mode. This is the second slide. And these are the slides don't have any text. And then I go here at the bottom and I click normal, I'll go back. to the slide, the main slides view. If you want to delete the slides, you can click on any of the slide right here on the slide pane, and on your keyboard, you can click delete, or you can also right click and delete. You can also duplicate. If you right click, you can duplicate the slide, so it's the same slide. And you can move slides by on the mouse by clicking the left key. You can drag the slide too. So there is a lot of stuff you can do on PowerPoint. And then when you are ready, well, you always want to save. So you can save it in your computer, and then you can keep working on it. You can also customize the colors of the text. You can select the text, and by going here, home, you can choose a different font. But remember, if you choose a different font, then you might want to change the font in all the slides. So I'm just gonna leave it like that for now, but you have the option. You can make it bigger. You can make the title bigger or smaller by clicking on these icons, the great big A and the little a, or going here on the size. And you can see a preview too. You can also have italic, but italic, it'll change the theme of all of this, only these titles. So you would just want to leave the same style. You can change the color if you want to do that, but have in mind that you'll have to have a theme that is coherent. You don't want to have something that is too different from the other slide. So you can have a color here. And this is already have a setup, an effect. I think it has, I don't know if you can see, it has an effect already that was chosen for this template. You can choose sentence case by clicking on the AA icon right here. You can have sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, or this other style, toggle case. So I just gonna put uppercase like it was before. You can also modify this, make it smaller if you want, by moving on the anchor points here on the corner. So this is the box. So maybe you want to make a smaller box. When you get that cross, the 4-point cross right here, you can, with the mouse, you can drag it. You can also rotate it, but in this case, we don't want to rotate it. We just want it to be straight. If you want to have another box, we can have another box. So this is customize the slide. So we can go here to insert, and we're gonna do a text box. And we click text box, and then we draw the box. And that's the text box. And then we can click inside and type. And it'll have the same style than the preview, it takes the style, the theme from that we have set up for the slide for text. So we can also click on it and delete it and write something else. Also, if you make spelling, you'll have here, it'll show on red, underline on red, that you have a spelling. So you can right click and it'll be the suggestion. So if you have used Word, it's very similar to Word, or you can go here to review and do the spelling. I'm gonna show you now how to make your own word art. I'm gonna go here, home, and I'm gonna take this layout and I'm gonna put it blank, because I'm gonna do my own, customize the whole thing. And I'm gonna change this color to something different. So here in the sign, I'm gonna go to format background, and I'm going to make it more transparent. So this is, I'm modifying the background to make it lighter because it's too dark. So by increasing the transparency. So I just see format background, and then I can customize the background. And there are a lot more options here. And then I'm going to insert a text box, a word art, word art. And I have different options here. So let's do this one. And this is the text to test it out. And if I don't like this color, I can choose another color, or I can choose another style. To change, if I don't like, if I want to customize it more, I can do a text fill and change it. And by selecting it, also I can change the text outline. So the outline is the line that is around the edge of the letter. So I can choose the weight. So it is. And let's make this bigger so you all can see it. So I just went to home and click the increase font size. I'm gonna go back here, click on the text, and when I click on the text, I get the format tool, the format tab. When I click out, it disappears. When I click inside, I get the format tab. And then I can change the outline. And I better select the whole thing because it wasn't selecting all the words. Okay, and I select it again, and I can get text effects here. Reflection, glow. I can have it like the bevel here. I can rotate it. And I can do transformations where it changes the direction of the text. So this will be good if you're doing like a yard sale sign or some kind of other sign. That's another use for PowerPoint. And you can have here shape fill. So that's another option, shape outline. So you can have a frame around. So you can use some of this too. And let's see what else we can change. And if you click here on this arrow, you can have way more options too. You can have more options where you have shadows, you can change the fill, so you can explore a lot more options. But again, the format tab, it disappears when I'm out of the text. So you have to select the text, so where you see the text and you select it. And there is another one here. Maybe this is interesting, or I just put reflection. Okay, so that's another way to customize the font. I go here, insert, and use word art. If you don't want to do this, you can just stay with the design and you can change, by clicking here on the design tab, the whole thing, everything changes. All the fonts, well, except this one where we customize. Anything that you customize, it won't change. For example, this color won't change because I change it from the template, but everything else will change. That's why choosing a theme to begin with and then customize and making it the way you want it is the best way. But you do it just at the end after you have added all the information, all the text. So this step you do is the last step that you do, because you want to enter all the information, all the text, have all your grammar corrected, all your coherence, your story. And then after you do all that, you can add color and fonts and start with the design. It's better to put all the content first and then do the design just at the end. And you want to spend 80% of the time on the content and only 20% of the time you have available on the design, because design is not, it's just going to add that 20% that you need on your presentation, but the content is what people are going to base and it's going to evaluate your presentation. It's the content. A lot of people put a lot more emphasis on design and then they go to a presentation or provide some slides to people and then the content is really weak. So you want to have a strong content. Then we're gonna add a picture. So you can go here and choose this layout. The layout that have these icons with the pictures, and you can click here, pictures, and that's gonna take you to your computer and you can choose a picture. So you have to have a picture already set up in your computer. So I'm gonna choose these cats. And then you have a picture. This picture, when you have the 4-point cross with the left bottom on the mouse, you can move your picture and you're gonna see some guidelines that are gonna make sure they are straight or center on the slide. You can also make it bigger or smaller, and it's gonna keep the proportion of the picture. You can also, so when you are out of it, the picture tab disappears. You wanna click on the picture and find the format tab for pictures. You can have a frame if you wish to. If you don't wish, you don't have to. You can have, and there are more frames here that you can add. So whichever you like, you can choose. You can also customize the border by here, picture border. So you can choose a different color. You can use effects and do some other customization. So I'm gonna take out the, I don't want any borders. So I just gonna choose the no border one. So no outline and not gonna have any borders. So I'm gonna reset the picture the way it was. There it is. So I just click here, reset, and it goes back to the way it was. So on this picture, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. There is a number here that I don't want to, and I can move this title out of the way. There is a picture here. On the picture, there's a number here that I don't want it to show. So I can go to the format tool. When I click the picture, there is a format tab that shows up. And if I go all the way to the left, I can crop it. So I click here, cropped, and I can move the black guides, and that number is gonna disappear. And now the number shows up, but now it's off center. So I'm gonna have to crop from the other side too. And I'm gonna crop it this way. And then I click out. And if you don't like it, you can either undo by clicking undo here, or we can also reset. I feel like we can reset too. No, it's gonna do, you wanna do undo until it goes back to the way it was. But I want actually to take out that. And then I can make it bigger as long as the resolution looks good, and then I can center it. So let's try another place. Let's change the layout here and put this example. I can also bring the picture here. So I can have a picture here and I can have text. And I can make this smaller. And then I can put text here. If I don't want text, if you don't want this, you can click on the box and right click, and you can cut it or you can delete it. So if you don't want this text here, you can go ahead and cut it, or you can click delete on your keyboard and it'll go away. And if you wanted to bring them back, you can go text and then draw the text box, and then you have a text box. And then you can move these boxes the way you want it and customize it like you want it. And when you print this, these boxes are not gonna show up. So they're only gonna show up when you put a title. When after you print, you add the title, the box disappear unless you click on it. So if you have an empty box showing up, like in this is not going to print. It's just a layout is invisible on when you print it. If you want to add another picture, you can. So let's add another picture. And for this one, we're going to add a picture maybe from online pictures. So online picture is going to bring a picture from the internet that is copyright safe. So for example, I like cats and I'm going to look for another cat. And then you have different options here for cats. And I'm going to choose this one and then click insert. So as you can see, this cat is too big. So I'm going to resize it. But then I want to put it here, but I want the text to be in front. Right here, the text goes beyond, behind the cat. So to do that, we're gonna make sure we click on the cat, go to the Format Picture tool, go to the Arrange group, and you're gonna make sure the cat goes to the back. So we're gonna click here where it says send backwards until we see the text coming. And if this text, you want a different color because this color is too light, you can do that. Definitely, you can resize it. And I'm gonna do text instead of test. And if you want, for example, this cat now is behind the picture here with Einstein. If you want that cat to go forward, you're gonna click on the picture of the cat, go to Format, and then you're gonna bring forward or bring to the forefront. So bring to the, if that doesn't work, just click bring to the front. So now this picture, the cat with the red ribbon is in the front of Einstein. And if you want to delete a picture, you can do right click and cut it. You can cut it, or on your keyboard, you can click delete and it goes away. And if you want the cat to come back, you just click undo. Then if we want to print, if you are done with this presentation, like for example, we have all these slides and this 6th slide is too much, we don't need it anymore, so I'm going to delete it. You're gonna save it. And then let's go to print in case you need to print them. You're gonna go here, print, and there are different options. You can print the slides. So the slides are gonna print like they show up. These are showing in black and white. So you can choose black and white or color. If it's just a test, if you don't need them in color, you might just want to print it in grayscale just to use all the color in the printer. So you have a full slide. You can also have notes. So notes are the slides, but there'll be room at the bottom to put your own notes. So for example, if you're gonna give a presentation, you can take this and put your own notes so you know how to, you're gonna recite your presentation, what you're gonna say. So those are notes. You can also print the outline. The outline is just a description of this presentation, but you're not gonna see the slides, only the text. You can also have the option of printing handout. So this is a handout. This is a handout with one slide, but you can have 3 slides, and they even put these lines here for people to write on. So you can give those as an additional material for your presentation, or you can have all the slides, at least 9 slides in one page. So that saves you paper. You can also try to print it as PDF, so you don't have to print it on paper. And now I'm going to show you a real presentation that was created. So you can see an example of what a full presentation is. So this one has links because it has, you can add links from the internet to it. So I just click, that's why I get that message update link. And so it's bringing all the resources from outside. And it has, this presentation has files from other places like Excel files or the internet. And I just enable content. So this is a real presentation. It was done for Detroit. So you can see it has graphics. They use graphic to explain, express the idea. They're trying to sell the city. That's the whole presentation is about. They're trying to attract investors. And this one has different graphs that can be done to explain visually what's going on in the city, and have not only statistics, but it's given in a way that can be easily explained and easily digested by people. So the idea is conveyed. So this presentation has a lot of slides. It has a lot of information. So I figure it was presented by more than one person, maybe 5. And the information that was given here is just to complement the ideas that the person was given, and also to add a little bit more of immersive to the presentation. So the investors feel like they are in Detroit and they understand. So that's why they use the images on the presentation. I think this has been a video. So this is an example of a real presentation, and most likely this was done by maybe 5 or more people that put them together. And then at the end, people always put their contact information in case people have more questions. And usually if there is a conference, this presentation is available after the speaker is the slides are shown to the people, or even they are printed or emailed, so everybody has the main ideas and they remember what the presentation was about.